Usually, when we think about cards, it is a comparison of the mana cost of the card and strength of effect or stats of a minion. But zero mana cards break that calculation. Zero mana cards have several benefits, such as being able to be played at literally any time, and as a result, have the potential to be incredibly fast, emptying out your hand for immediate, albeit weak board presence, or dealing with an early game threat at no mana cost to you in order to leverage your mana advantage into tempo. Combined with cards like Gadget Sand Auctioneer, zero-cost spells become valuable in the mid to late game. So, the question becomes, which are the most powerful? There is an obvious answer being the zero mana cards which were nerfed, like Innervate and Preparation, or the doubly nerfed Hunter's Mark, but I will only be looking at current versions of the zero mana cards at the time of script writing. I am not Madame Lazul, so I cannot read the future. Also, as an additional caveat, I am not going to talk about cards which reduce their cost to zero. Finally, I am not going to talk about the Forbidden cards, as they do not function well at their zero mana cost, unless you really want to deal zero damage with Forbidden Flame. Now, for the class rundown.
Let's go!
Druid. Innervate is essentially a reskin of the coin. Although pale in comparison to the unnerfed version, one extra mana can smooth out the curve or allow you to play a slightly higher tempo minion. Moonfire is 1 damage, which can be valuable for trading, but shines best with Malagos, as zero mana Fireball is very enticing. Pounce is just the attack half of Claw, and can be used to trade off an early game minion. Double utility with Savage Striker. Mage. Elementary Reaction is more narrow than the old Innervate, but a 2 mana discount on a giant can lead to an even greater tempo swing. Bonus points for Mage's ability to recur spells with Mana Cyclone. Freezing Potion looks like a joke, but you can compare it to the Emergency Coolant spare part, and it looks comparatively better. Add on cards like Snap Freeze or Shatter, and suddenly it's a very strong addition in a dedicated deck. But at the card's floor, it can still stop one attack, denying your opponent that little bit of attacker's initiative, potentially buying you a turn. Priest. Circle of Healing is a great quest activator, but it can also improve your board position after intelligent trading, and even act as a board clear when used with Akanai Soul Priest. Lazul's Scheme is a shrinking card, which can combo with removal like Shadow Word Horror, or even better, can allow you to steal a minion with Cabal Shadow Priest. This card just gets better the longer you hold it, like all the schemes. Regenerate is a small heal in a pinch, or a very efficient burn spell with Akanai Soul Priest. Silence is a valuable keyword, especially when looking at the nerf on Keeper of the Grove. But Silence is even stronger in the dedicated Silence Priest deck. Finally, Topsy Turvy was involved in a tier 1 combo deck called APM Priest. Enough said. Rogue. Backstab is very strong early game removal, and, like other zero-cost cards in Rogue, can activate combo cards. Backstab SI7 Agent can deal with a moderate threat on turn 3 with a large tempo swing. Counterfeit Coin is a literal reskin of the coin, and combos well with Gadget Sand Auctioneer in a Miracle Rogue deck. Preparation was even better, but at the moment it is on par with Elementary Reaction, substituting the elemental restriction for a spell restriction. But it does not stack like Elemental Reaction. Don't prep your preparations, at least in Hearthstone. Shadow Step is great for recycling Battlecry minions, with a discount to boot. As zero mana Zephrys is a little dirty, especially since you have already gotten the effect off once. Shaman. Shaman has the most zero mana cards, and I am wondering if there has ever been a Miracle Shaman deck, especially since Hagatha can fuel the Auctioneer later in the game. Ancestral Healing looks a little like Regenerate when you are restoring health, but on a larger minion, the defensive option of Mark of Nature is a better comparison. Less versatile, but at a 3 mana discount and with potentially more health gain, Ancestral Healing does look very enticing. Beakered Lightning looks like a weaker Whirlwind, and is a little easier to activate at the cost of the 2-mana Overload, which can be an advantage. Mutate is a single target evolution, or more apt, a one-time use unstable evolution, and can be a big tempo swing on a discounted minion. We have a twofer of Totemic Might and Totemic Surge. Both are buff spells which can buff your entire board, but only if they are all totems. There's a lot of totem synergy floating around out there, so an aggressive totem deck could exist, but maybe in Wild. Last, Zap is like Backstab, but more flexible as it can hit a damaged minion, but also more expensive when considering the overload, though it could be a very good activator for Thunderhead. Warlock. Sacrificial Pact is a weird one. The most efficient, although also the most narrow, removal spell in the game. Even when used on your own demon, it still heals a significant amount of health, more than Regenerate even. It can also one-shot Jiraxxus, so 10 out of 10. Warrior. Inner Rage is a good activator for Enrage-type warriors. At 1 mana cheaper than Abusive Sergeant, and with some minions offering benefits upon being damaged, occasionally Inner Rage sees play in aggressive strategies. Neutral. There has not been a single minion mentioned yet. The neutral category lacks spells, and the minions in neutral give marginal board presence. Murloc Tinyfin and Snowflipper Penguin share the distinction of being extremely cute, but also being 1/1s with tribal synergy, which could compound the early game tempo push. Target Dummy is a good platform to magnetize to, and since it has taunt, can absorb one attack, sort of like Freezing Potion. Finally, Wisp is extremely powerful, and even saw play in a tier 1 deck. I am not even joking. Crystal Core has since had 2 nerfs, and part of the reason is how easy it was to play Wisp over and over and over and over again. Plus, a 0-mana 4/4 is pretty strong. I have referenced one 0-mana neutral spell a couple times, but I have been saving the best for last. The coin is very strong, but also very identifiable to Hearthstone, triggering spell synergy, offering a minor tempo boost for a single turn, activating combos. The coin, as well as the extra card, is Hearthstone's way of mitigating first turn advantage. The coin is so strong that it has had a couple imposters, and some cards even generate coins, for you and your opponent as a means of balancing. The coin has a direct parallel in Magic, namely Lotus Petal, although Lotus Petal is nowhere near the strongest 0-mana card in Magic. I am sensing a part 2, or more, in the future.